Cuba Gooding Jr., but before you leave, we're going to turn the orphanage into a titty bar, into a strip joint. And Cuba Gooding Jr., that's his fucking trick. He goes, oh, what? A strip joint with big old biddies? And he goes, yes, sir.
Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I also wanted to let you know that not only do I create content here on Class in the Glass, but I also stream content on my Twitch channel, Mr. Revan7. I play single-player games, multiplayer games, and I also do movie reviews and cartoon reviews as well. I also want to encourage you to check out my Patreon, Class in the Glass, where I offer audio commentaries, full reactions for movies, and also the ability to submit questions for my video casts and podcasts. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and enjoy the...
Mary, Mother of God! Norbit.
So, chat, we begin. It's 1967, chat, and we're opening up on a dusty trail, chat. We are hearing Eddie Murphy doing a stereotypical nerd voice. It's like his name is Norbit. He sounds like this for the entire film, and it's fucking annoying as hell. I don't want to hear it, chat. It's just absolutely, it's like every time he speaks, you're like, oh my God, his character's just great. Honestly, chat, like Rasputia, you think, oh, Rasputia, she's the most annoying character in the film. It's not. She's not, okay? I mean, yes, she is fucking crass, and she is definitely annoying at times, but the real person who I had the most issues with in this film, chat, is Norbit himself. He fucking sucks. He never stands up for himself, although in hindsight, it's because he was raised by a racist old Asian man, who's being played by Eddie Murphy. So I can see why he has no self-confidence, and where you have, I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself, chat. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's fucking back up. 1967, Dusty Trail. Good old Norbit. He is basically narrating his life, chat. And he said that I grew up in an orphanage. And I like to think that my parents, they just weren't able to raise me, but they obviously wanted me, have me be very safe, and they picked the best place imaginable to drop me off, chat. And what happens is his parents stop in front of this fucking Chinese food restaurant, open the goddamn door, and punt the baby. They punt poor baby Norbit, chat. And he's out there for at least 48 hours, chat. Eventually, surrounded by flies because he shit himself multiple times, chat. The coyotes, the good old coyotes are out there trying to go after the little fucking, like he's in a shawl, geez, like in a little shawl. And they're kind of pawing at it and stuff. But oh no, thank God. Because the owner of the wonton Chinese food restaurant, chat, Mr. Juan, he walks out and he goes, "Ah, goddamn Mei Ling, they got it. Another baby was dropped off here. We got another one." And the coyotes didn't get to this one, so that's good. It would have been a huge fucking mess like last time. So apparently the coyotes are used to eating shit-filled baby shit. It's terrible. So we're off on a good start. We're off to the fucking races. And he goes down and he says, "Oh, this one's alive." And he looks, and then we see Eddie Murphy in yellowface, chat. He has a very stereotypical, racist, old Asian man accent, chat, and it's just like, oof, oh boy, this is not working. Not working. Darkslayer said, "You want some Chinese food? Good. Go get some." And so he picks this up, chat, and he just proceeds to accost this baby, saying that you are the ugliest black baby imaginable. There is no way that anyone, I mean, he even said, listen, chat, this is not me saying, this is what the movie's saying. He's already saying, I mean, it'd already be hard to have someone adopt a black baby, but you're an ugly black baby. So there's just no way in hell no one's gonna pick you up. And he gave him a terrible name, chat, of Norbit. That's what he did. And then we just follow Norbit as he is forced, really it's child labor. Like, this is an orphanage slash Chinese food slash sweatshop, chat. And Mr. Juan, he just puts all these little kids to work making Chinese food for all of his customers, chat. But he's got a house in the back that raises all these kids. And Norbit, as he grows up, chat, as he becomes, I guess he's like, you see him at this point in his life, he's like 7 or something. He bonds with one person in particular, chat, Kate. They're fucking inseparable, chat. They do everything together. They fucking ride bikes together, even though he's not a good bike rider, chat. Kate's trying to help him. They fucking watch scary movies together, holding hands and stuff, chat. They even poop together. They even show these two which I never want to see, chat, two kids holding hands while pooping. And I was like, this is, I don't like this. It makes me uncomfortable, chat. They even help Mr. Juan and his weird whaling fetish that he has, because Mr. Juan, he's like, his hobby is whaling, but he lives in fucking middle America, chat. I don't know, somewhere. I'm getting the sense somewhere in the Midwest, Ohio, I don't know. He's somewhere in the Midwest, chat. And he forces the children to hold up various sculptures of whales and wooden fucking carvings of whales, where he then thrusts, chat, a whaling hook at them. And he has his very funny phrase, at least he wants to make it funny, and he'll come back and it's like, oh, look at that, right in the blowhole. And he says it in very offensive Asian, chat, very offensive Asian accent. And so eventually, Norbert's just saying, after all these wonderful experiences with me and Kate, we just decided to get married under the old oak tree in back of the Chinese food restaurant, chat. And so they remember those fucking little sucker pop rings or whatever the hell they are. They give those, chat. So he gives hers is watermelon, chat. His is fucking green apple, and they smooch and they go, ew, kisses are gross. And Norbit says this is the happiest 2 weeks of his life. Absolutely. Ring pops. Thank you this summer. They're called ring pops, chat. And it's the best time of his life, chat, but for 2 weeks, because then Kate, she's adopted, chat, because she's cute. She's cute. And as Mr. Juan reiterates to Norbit, no one loves you, Norbit. Okay? You are an ugly black child. No one will love you. It's like, oh my God, how did this get past anyone? Everyone's like, you know what? Maybe we should take out some of this stuff. Maybe he's like, no, it's fine. Anyone's like, don't worry about it. It'll get a pass. It's like, it's not going to get a pass now. And so Norbit eventually, he grows older, chat. We see him, and now he's in middle school. He still misses Kate, and he doesn't have a buddy anymore. He doesn't have a friend. He's not as bonding well with the kids. And one day he's in the playground, chat, and Norbit's very articulate. He likes architecture, chat. It's displayed that he's intelligent, chat. And he builds this very elaborate sandcastle in the park. But then these two white kids, chat, they destroy the sandcastle, and they beat him up because they're racist, chat. They're really racist. And they beat the shit out of Norbit. Oh, but lo and behold, chat, he will be saved. And this goddamn obelisk, this shadow comes out of nowhere, chat, and just overshadows the two racist kids and Norbit. And this person who we are introduced to, Rasputia, chat, which I feel sorry for all of the young actors that had to play Rasputia. It's like, oh my God. It's like you, listen, we need a morbidly obese child to play this character. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And you're just there to laugh at him, too. It's very fucking cruel, chat. It's very cruel. And so she picks these two kids up, chat, slams them together, severely concusses them, chat, and they just fall down. Oh, that was some Three Stooges shit. It really is. You gotta go. That's the thing. And after that, chat, after she concusses these two racist kids, he goes, Norbit's just like, who are you? I'm Rasputia. And, he's like, oh, okay, and she says, what's your name? My name's Norbit. That's a stupid name. And he goes, okay, or whatever. Hey, Norbit, do you have a girlfriend? And he goes, no. Well, you do now. And she fucking grabs him, chat, and she never lets go. She never lets go. And then throughout middle school and high school, chat, Norbit is with Rasputia, and she's defended him throughout his life in school, chat. It's like she stood by him, and she's given him, chat, a family. Because we're introduced to Rasputia's three brothers, chat. The oldest brother, Terry Crews, is in this movie. Good old Terry Crews is here, chat. Also, the Coal Train from Gears of War, and another brother whose name I don't remember, chat, but he has a lazy eye. He's got a lazy eye, and that's all. That's what their names now, chat. You got Terry Crews, Coal Train, and the lazy eye guy. That's it. And they all bond together, chat. And then they have a weird psych gag where they invite Norbit to dinner on fucking Sundays or whatever, and they always give Norbit the best part of the the best part of the turkey, chat, the turkey ass. It is very thick, and he's just like, yeah, he's like, eat up, sucker. He's like, I will. And they spend their entire lives together, chat. And at this point, because they spent so much time together, they just naturally fucking get married. Oh my God, I think the 10 Biddies will be seriously, who the fuck picked this one? I don't know who did it. Thank you, Chris Ayers. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Where are we, chat? Oh, yeah, so, they really fast forward through all this shit. And so we come to the point where they're getting married, chat, and then we see it's Eddie Murphy in the fat suit. He's in the fat suit, chat. They also use some combination CGI, so when Rasputia and Norbit have to be on screen together, they superimpose, they CGI Eddie Murphy's face onto another actress, chat, who is kind of the body double for Rasputia. And so, everyone is there at the fucking church, chat. We're just to a plethora of characters. We learned that the Rasputin's brothers. I forget what they're fucking called, chat. I don't know what their fucking names are. What the hell are their names? They are the oh god damn it, Lattimore, the Lattimores, chat. And they own Lattimore Construction, and they're pretty much an organized crime outfit where they have intimidated everyone across this small Midwestern town, chat, and they're forcing them to pay them protection money. That's what they do, chat. So they intimidate the Mr. Boppity Boopy, who is the Italian, who's the stereotypical Italian restaurant owner, chat. They intimidate all these old folks, the flower shop lady, chat, the black barbershop guy. They intimidate him, chat, force him to pay protection money. They got a little bit of money, got a little bit of everyone's money in their pockets at this point, chat. And that's why they're they're kind of like the wealthiest people in town because of through their criminal enterprises, chat. And no one wants to mess with them. No one wants to mess with them because they have to mess with Rasputia, chat. And she's kind of the leader of them. All right, it's like if you fuck with the money, you gotta fuck with Rasputia. And no one wants to fuck with Rasputia. And so we also introduced a whole bunch of other characters in the church. You got Eddie Griffin and what's the other actor's name? God damn it, Cat Williams. Eddie Griffin and Cat Williams in their chat. They play two pimps, and their whole joke in the movie is that they're retired pimps that want to get back into the pimp lifestyle. That's about it. They play some important parts in the plot, chat, later in the end where they have to delay certain things, but that is the joke. They're a one-note fucking joke, and it's just fucking weird. I don't need it. And so we're at the fucking wedding, chat. I was gonna say funeral for a second, might as well be. They're at the fucking wedding, and Mr. Juan's there. He's the Norbit's best man because Norbit doesn't have any friends, chat, and he's ugly, he's hideous. And Juan, I'll give this. Juan's reaction is just going, ugh, it's a goddamn horror show when he sees Rasputia. Because fucking Eddie Murphy, he takes the goddamn, little veil off it, and it's just like, ooh, this makeup is just not working. It's too ugly. And the thing is, what worked about Dunny Professor, chat, is that there was a certain charm to a character like, Sherman Klump. And the various members of the family, there was a charm to all of them. It's like, yeah, sometimes they were crass, but they were never mean. They're never mean. Like Rasputia, the reason why the Rasputia character doesn't work all the time, for most of the time, I'd say, there are a few times where I got caught off guard with the humor, but the reason why she doesn't really work is because she's just cruel. And it's just I just don't want to see her on screen anymore. And the fact that Norbit is never standing up for himself, he has multiple times throughout the film to stand up for himself, chat, in this hour and 46-minute long film, and he never does until at the very end, which is come on, dude. It's just grating to watch it. It's just absolutely grating to watch. And so he removes this veil, and apparently, they really never kissed before, which is weird. And Norbit's just he's like, and Rasputia's like, open your mouth, and he goes, and she goes, and they do open tongue kiss in chat, and Norbit's just like, come on, man, come on, stop kissing. And Mr. Wan's just like, this is horrifying. This is like bad porn I saw. And it's like, okay, I get it, crass joke after crass joke. And then we're having the fucking wedding reception. Or I guess the after party, whatever you want to fucking call it. And everyone's getting a fucking speech. I mean, it's just gags. It's just, all it is just you have the guy that has the cake there. You got the baker. And he's like, who ate my cake? And, there's a big fucking hunk of it's gone. And it cuts to Rasputia, and she's got cream all over her face. He goes, I didn't know goddamn cake. And she obviously did. It's that's what the humor is, chat, constantly. It's just Rasputia says something crass. Norbit is not standing up for himself, or Rasputia is fat and is eating something. That's the humor throughout this entire film. That's how it goes. It's one of those three jokes, chat. And occasionally Mr. Juan being extremely racist like now. Because Mr. Juan, he goes up there and he has to he's gonna do a speech. He's gonna talk about Norbit. And Jesus Christ, Chad, some of the humor in this, it's yeah, you can't do this. Is racist, Chad, because it's yeah, when I raised Norbit, I never thought he would marry a gorilla. And it's just Jesus Christ. And he's saying this if I knew he was marrying a gorilla, I would have brought bananas. And I'm just oh my God. In this movie, yes, Chad, listen, it's not me. This is what the movie is fucking saying, okay? Don't ban me, all right? I'm just telling you what the movie's saying, or I'm being honest with you. I'm not sugarcoating it, chat. And they're like, Terry Crews is like, what the fuck? And he's like, I joke. Why would I start a scene? Okay, during this? I'm happy for both of them. But I have a story to tell about Norbit. Norbit, when he was a toddler, when he is 3 years old, he would always run around naked, always butt naked. He was a very ugly black child. He emphasized the black every time, Chad, okay? That's the way the movie rolls, okay? I'm sorry. And he refers to Norbit's prepubescent genitalia throughout this entire story, and he's in intimate graphic detail saying that Norbit, as a 3-year-old, he had a PP the size of an egg roll. It was engorged. It was large. I just never seen anything like it. And they cut to Norbit, and he goes, yeah, it's true. It's just like fucking weird. Even Rasputin's like, what the fuck is going on here? What is this story? So, I gotta find myself. I got okay, where am I in the plot? Got it. He says he would always run around, and one day he got outside, and a snake came up behind him and bit him right on the ass, like rattlesnake, and bit him right on his ass, right in his asshole, near the asshole, as he says, chap. This movie has a plot? Not really. It's like a collection of scenes. There was a through line at one point. We haven't gotten to the plot. I'll tell you when we get to the plot, what the main kind of like, here it is. But it's about a half hour in before we get to it. It takes a little while, so just stay with me, Chad, all right? I'm going to lead you to the darkest to Mordor, okay? And we're going to come back to the Shire. Don't worry about it. So he's telling the story. It's like he finds Norbit, and he's like, it's like I have to make a decision. There's a very important decision in my life. Either I let Norbit die, or I suck the venom from this 3-year-old's ass. And I said, no, I will not do this, okay? Fuck Norbit. He did this to himself. I will not suck venom from another man's asshole, okay? But it was miraculous, like a miracle, because Norbit did not die, and he got stronger and stronger and stronger until he recovered. He got stronger every single year, and that's what it is about Norbit. He is a warrior. He can survive everything. Like the gorilla he just married. And I'm just like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. And everyone's just like, the fuck? He's like, I kid. Anyway, enjoy yourselves. Drink and you have a banana daiquiri. It's just like, God damn it. Oh my God. And so eventually, chat, we cut from those incredibly offensive scenes. Why don't you take, that's exactly, Jay Cuz. Why don't you sit, Mr. Juan, Uncle Juan, please sit down. Just sit down. And eventually, chat, we cut to the newlyweds' house. They bought a house, chat. Rasputia, she has all the money. Everything's in her name. And she's like, Norbit, carry me over the threshold to our new home. But he can't, chat, because she's like nearly 450 fucking pounds. And she can't do it. And she's like, get off. No, it's another psych gag, chat. It's a gag because Rasputia's fat, get it? And so eventually, chat, we cut to it's evening. And Norbit and Rasputia have never had sex before. All right, and so we just get scene after scene after scene after scene after scene of them doing various bedroom shenanigans, chat, kind of cosplay, jumping, dressing up as, doing a criminal and like a cop, or, a firefighter-esque cosplay, or holiday-esque cosplay, where all this shit is Norbit screaming as Rasputia flings her in mass onto Norbit, chat, and just caves in the bed and crushes all of his internal organs and bones, chat, and cartilage. That's all it did. That's what it is every single time until they finally stops, where it's like they got cinder blocks, so the bed itself will no longer fall apart, chat. But that's what happens throughout the entire rest of the film. Norbit works for the fucking Lattimores, chat, as their bookkeeper. He's the only one that's really keeping the company afloat, so he's very smart. Rasputia pretty much does nothing throughout the movie for a good while. This is dumb. Okay, so, it's just, honestly, it's hard with comedies because it's just a collection of scenes. So I'm trying to remember, what's the order of all these things? But Rasputia, she's like, everyone tries to be nice to her because she's kind of the de facto ruler of the town. And so you have this old lady who lives next door with an adorable pug, and she hates that pug. She hates the way the pug looks at her. There's a moment in the film later on where she tries to fucking murder the pug. It's just fucked up and weird. Thank you, Darcy, for the 5 biddies. Role play, not cosplay. Sorry, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd, chat. You know this. Oh, man. Seriously, we're going to find you somebody like Rasputia. No. Please, no. Roleplay, Christopher, not cosplay. No, you got me. You got me there. Andy. Hey, Chris, how are you, buddy? This was the last movie that Rick Baker and Eddie Murphy did because while Eddie wrote this, he got tired of wearing the makeup and would refuse to wear anything most of the time. Just broke Rick's heart. I mean, honestly, I could see why. This relationship needed to end. It needed to fucking end, Ted. Sage Snake, welcome to stream. Oh, geez, I came in a weird... You did, man, you did. Fucking... I don't even know where I don't even know where we are in the movie now, chat. So this is what happened. So eventually, there are various scenes of Rasputia just mistreating Norbit throughout the film. You get this one where I don't know, Norbit's going into work. Rasputia's getting into her car because she's taking tap dancing lessons, chat, from one of the Wayans brothers, Marlon Wayans. He's the tap dancing teacher. And we have a Psych Gag, which is repeated several times in the film, where Rasputia, she's continuously always gaining weight, chat, because she keeps stuffing her fat fucking face. And so every time she gets in the car, chat, her as she says, my titties keep honking the horn, see? Every time I breathe in, beep, beep, like all that. See, Norman, stop adjusting my seat. She's like, I'm not adjusting your seat, Rasputia, that's you. You might be putting on a few pounds. And she fucking smacks him, which, honestly... That was one of the moments that got me. I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking funny. Because it happened so quick. And it's just like, he's like, Like, that actually made me laugh. And so eventually, and then you get another Psych Gag where, like, all of the weight of the car is shifted to the driver's side. And it's, like, almost like about to flip over. But Norbit goes into work or whatever. And then Rasputia, she goes, takes her tap dancing lesson. Another Psych Gag because she's big and fat. And she needs plenty of space to move around. But, Marlon Wayans, he knows that, like, the Lattimores have all the money, and he wants to start, like, a video series of his tap dancers so he can earn some more money, and he needs a loan. But in order to pay for it, like Rasputia, she doesn't need any money. No, what she needs is, chat, she wants more of that Marlon Wayans ass. And so she basically asks him, hey, come over to my house and let's just fucking have sex the entire time while Norbit's away, and maybe I'll consider giving you some money for your video series. He goes, okay. And so they fucking go at you at their own home, and they just start fucking. That's what it is, Shay. It's Marlon Wayans having sex with a morbidly obese Eddie Murphy. That's the joke. Meanwhile, Norbit, he's coming home, chat. He has brought a mountain of food for Rasputia, like many stacks of ribs. And he comes home, chat, and he hears some rambunctiousness happen in the bedroom. It's like, chat. You ever see, like, National Geographic, chat, where you hear, like, that walrus call, it sounds like that. And so he puts the short ribs down. He knows that walrus call better than anyone, chat. He knows, okay? We saw all the scenes of role play earlier. And he goes in the bedroom, chat, and we see a very thin and buck-toothed Marlon Wayans of a gold tooth, chat, because it's like, stereotypes. Thrusting into a morbidly obese Eddie Murphy's ass. That's what we see, chat. And they fucking freak out. Marlon Wayans goes, Rasputia goes, and Marlon Wayans just goes, I'm so sorry, brother. I was just giving a private lesson to Rasputia. Rasputia's like, yeah, private lessons. Like, we gotta do it naked because we get hot, it gets sweaty, we gotta exfoliate. It's all about the muscles and the definition. And it's like giant, his fucking giant, his thing is out, chat. His cock is out, and, fucking goddamn Norbit's such a fucking simp, he doesn't do anything about it. And eventually, Marlon Wayans, he leaves, but now Norbit finally stands up for himself, Jay. He's like, Rasputia, how could you? He's like, don't worry, nothing happened, okay? Nothing happened. All right, it was tap dance. He's like, no, this wasn't just tap dance. You're a whore! And this sets off a fucking alarm bell in Rasputia's head, and she proceeds to chase after Eddie Murphy, Chad, after Norbit. And, he fucking he runs out the goddamn door. Norbit's like, oh, hi, Norbit. But he's like, go, run for your life. And Rasputia, she fucking like a goddamn linebacker, chat, crushes, just stomps on the skull of the mailman, chat, just fucking brains, eyeballs, cartilage, it just popped like a hot water balloon, chat. And she continues to chase after him, chat, and she's knocking kids over. She's just trying to get at him, chat, but eventually she just exhausts herself. She's just so goddamn tired. She has a burst of speed, chat, but she can't keep it up. She doesn't have good stamina. And then she's like, nothing happened. Now go get me a fucking large stack of short ribs at the Rib Shack. And Eddie Murphy's like, not even hearing anymore, Chad. Norbit says, no, that's over. And he takes his wedding ring, Chad, his wedding ring off, and he throws it in the trash. And he throws it in the trash. He doesn't know what to feel anymore. And eventually, he's like, well, I'm still obligated to go to the orphanage because he still volunteers at Mr. Juan's orphanage. Chad, he does a puppet show like every fucking, I don't know, Monday or something, or Sunday. I don't know, it doesn't matter. And he goes over there, chat, and he's doing a puppet show, and the kids are loving it. He's loving it, chat. But then, you know, because Norbit's such a goddamn simp, he can't, like, talk to an adult, so all his emotions start pointing to the puppet show itself, and basically he makes the Piggy character. It's like a weird take on a Red Riding Hood, where, like, Norbit is representative of Red Riding Hood, and he has a pig, which I guess representative of Rasputia, and the pig is berating Little Red Riding Hood, and Little Red Riding Hood's trying to stand up for himself, and then they start fucking swearing and making references to engorged genitalia, and like, I don't need to hear this. And then Mr. Juan's like, no, but what are you doing? You gotta stop this. Stop it. This is terrible. This is gross. And he goes, I'm sorry, Mr. Juan. I'm sorry. I'm just under a lot of stress. And then, but all of his stress is a leave, chat, because who comes walking through the goddamn door looking fine? Kate! She's all grown up. She goes, hi, Norbit. And she's like, oh, Kate, is that you? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, are you coming? I haven't seen you in so long, in years. She goes, yeah, I am. Well, I came to visit Mr. Juan, and I wanted to see you too. He goes, oh my God. And they get to talk and Chad, they get to bond a little bit, learning about each other. And eventually Chad's revealed, she's like, okay, well, the real reason I'm here is not just to visit. I'm actually going to buy the orphanage. Mr. Juan, he wants to retire. He wants to go whaling with Mai Ling. And I figured I could do this. You know, I can, help these kids like they helped us when we were kids. He's like, that is amazing. That's great. And she's saying, well, I do need to get going. I got to go back to Atlanta because she's in the process of selling her. She's a very successful businesswoman. I guess she owns like a dress company or like a clothing line. She owns like a clothing line, and she's selling that. She has to make sure the deal is done so she can come back to town and take over the orphanage. So she has to go back to Atlanta. And Norbit's like, oh, it's too bad. I really wanted to talk with you more. She goes, well, how about we, have lunch on Tuesday? I'll be back like in a day or two. And he goes, oh, Tuesday's the best. Absolutely. I love lunch and I love Tuesdays, especially Tuesday lunch. Yes, fucking done deal. Let's do it. It's a date. I mean, not really a date. He's such a goddamn simp. And she's like, sounds good. And so the rest of the fucking, we got a montage chat of Norbit's going, Tuesday, Tuesday. He's sitting in the shower chair. She's like, if you fucking keep saying Tuesday, you're not going to make it to Wednesday. He's like, oh, God, no. He's very scared. He's very scared. And so Norbit, he's about to leave. He's saying, Rasputia, I gotta get going. Here is a mountain of fucking food to stuff your fat fucking face. And then fucking Marlon Wayans, he stops by. He goes, hey, Marlon Wayans, don't worry about it. I left some clean sheets on the bed. I got some air fresheners in there because it's gonna stink to high fucking heaven like last time. So you go at it, buddy. You go at it. So he goes to the Boppity Boopy Italian restaurant, chat, where he's gonna meet Kate for the Tuesday lunch. The day has fucking Thandie Newton. Hot. Thandie Newton is very beautiful, chat. Underrated actress, by the way, Thandie Newton. Want to see her in more things. Super underused, chat, in Solo. Am I right? It's just like, oh, Thandie Newton's in this. Great. And she's a fucking, she's with, goddamn Woody Harrelson. They have great chemistry, and she dies in the first, 10 minutes. It's like, what the hell? I'm dumb, chat. Want to see more of her. And I'll tell you this, chat. She gets out of this movie unscathed. Nothing is her fault in this film. She's fine. She's comping the movie. She's not bad. She's not bad in this film, chat. I don't blame her. I don't even blame Cuba Gooding Jr. Okay? Which, funny enough, this is introduction too. And so Norbit, he goes in the restaurant, chat. He's singing fucking Tuesday. He's so happy himself. But he sees goddamn Kate. And who's sitting right next to her, chat? Cuba Gooding Jr. Show me the goddamn money, Norbit. And he's like, oh, who is this? And Kate's like, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention. This is my fiance, Cuba Gooding Jr. He's like, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, oh, no, Tuesdays, no. He's so sad, chat. And they start talking. And apparently Cuba Gooding Jr., he's a financier, Chad. He gets expert financial and accounting advice. And it was when Kate was selling her business that she met him. And they just got to schmooching and having the hot, sweaty sex. And here we are. Norbit's just like, great. That's wonderful. And so Norbit, he's like, what a goddamn day. So he's miserable, Chad. He's miserable. And I think at one time, him and Rasputia somehow end up back together. Like they're in a car. Like next scene is like it's the next day or whatever. Next night he's kind of like a sad sack and everything. And he's just like, she's like, why are you acting this way? Why are you so goddamn sad all the time? Okay, it's like you have all of this to appreciate. He's like, just leave me alone, Rasputin. Just leave me alone. And while they're driving home at night, chat, that little adorable pug that the old lady, this scene really bothers me. I don't like this scene. The one little pug is just kind of like on the side. It's in the yard. It's in the old lady's yard, chat. And he's just kind of like barking at Rasputin, because who wouldn't bark at Rasputin, chat? Look at her. And Rasputin says, I see that beady-eyed motherfucker. And she fucking turns the goddamn wheel, chat, ends up on the lawn of all of her neighbors and is trying to actively run this pug over, try to kill this dog, chat. And Norbit's like, Rasputin, stop, don't hit Lloyd. The pug's name is Lloyd, chat. Don't hit him, don't do it. She's like, I'm gonna get the motherfucker. And and then we see it, chat. Like Lloyd, he has nowhere else to go. Actually, he could have fucking went somewhere else, but he turns around, chat, and he goes, no! And boom! The fucking car runs over the pug, chat. And I'm just like, all right, this is not funny. And Norbit's crying. She's like, I told you I'd get that little motherfucker. And she backs the car up, chat. This is Eddie Murphy, not me. I'm not doing an impression of, stereotype. This is what Eddie Murphy is doing in the movie. And so at this point, Eddie's like, I've had it. You killed an adorable pug. I'm out of here. And he's packing up all his luggage. We learned that Lloyd is in the hospital, chat. He is not dead. Also, we hear the pained howl of the old woman, chat. She's like, no. It's like, oh, this is sad. 10 points. Goddamn, Jay Cuz. You're as bad as Rasputia. And Norbit's just like, Lloyd's in the hospital because of you. You cheated on me. This marriage is a sham. You're a whore. I'm done with you. At this point, like, Rasputin's, like, panicking. Like, Norbit's out the gun, and she's like, oh, God, Norbit, I'm a child! And he goes, what? And he's like, Norbit, I'm pregnant. That's what it is. You can tell I have a little belly. He's like, really? You got a little belly? And she's like, we're going to have a baby, Norbit. We're going to have a baby. And she's crying. Norbit's like, oh, God, we're going to have a baby. But they're not going to have a baby, chat. It's a ruse. Rasputin's just doing that because she wants to abuse Norbit, chat. That's why she gets off. She wants to be in constant control of her life. And Norbit's been one of those constant features in her life. She doesn't want to lose him now. And so Norbit's just like, shit, well, everything I've ever wanted is like, I gotta stick by Rasputia. Wonderful. And so then, chat, we cut to I guess we're at like a fair or whatever in the town. All right, we're at a fair, and we see Kate there of Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. He's just overwhelmed by all the orphans. He hates those goddamn orphans. He doesn't want any kids. He hates kids. It's like, then why is he with Kate? What's this all about? There's more to Cuba Gooding Jr. that meets the eye, chat. We shall learn soon what he's all about. And he's like, listen, Kate, I got to get going. I'm really busy. I got a business call. Can you mind if you take care of this? She goes, sure, yeah, no problem at all. And he fucking walks off, chat, and he fucking flips, because this is an old movie, and he has a flip phone, chat, and he takes the call. He's like, oh, don't worry, baby, I have all the time for you. And nobody over here is like, what the fuck was that about, baby? Who's he talking to? That sounded weird. But then Kate and Norbit, they make eye contact. She goes, oh, Norbit, how are you? And they fucking walk over, chat. They start talking to each other. And, eventually through this conversation, Norbit reveals that he's married. I was like, Norbit, you didn't tell me you were married? That's amazing. He goes, yeah, it's something, all right. No, that's it, Andy. You got it. You're the queen of whores. That's what he says. Bad line. And so she's over there near the corn dog stand, and she looks over there. She's like, oh, and we see this very beautiful black woman, and she goes, oh my God, she's beautiful, Norbit. You're so lucky. He's like, no, the one next to her. And she looks to the left. He's the one that's sucking the jelly out of the donuts. We just see Rasputia, chat, with I don't know, about 4 donuts on like 2 of her fingers, and she's just sucking the jelly out of them. She goes, oh, she's yeah. We see these kids are constantly like messing with Rasputia behind her, and they all go over to Rasputia, chat. They go on over, and Norbit is just like, Rasputia, I'd like you to meet my friend Kay. And Rasputia's just instantly just like, I don't know if I like you. And, Kate's just like, oh, actually, Miss Lattimore, or she says, Miss Rice. She says, I'm no Miss Rice. And the reason why, because she never took Norbit's last name, goddamn sim. And, she's like, oh, but you're part of the Lattimore family. She says, yes, I'm Rasputia Lattimore. She says, oh, that's great, because actually I want to talk to your family business. I want to, I'm buying the orphanage. We're going to make some improvements to it, some additional housing and features. She goes, listen, I'm not going to talk about goddamn business here. I'm here to relax, soak in the sun, and show off what I got, okay? So talk to my brothers. They're over there. Go over there. They're the ones who are accosting that poor guy at the BB shooter. And these brothers are just shooting the shit out of this guy at the BB shooter, chat. Thank you, Dark 5 Biddies. Jelly-filled donuts are ruined for me now. They are, man. Once you see Eddie Murphy in a fat suit sucking jelly from Jelly Donuts, chat, you just can't eat another one. This is not possible anymore. So, Kate, she goes over to the Coltrane and Terry Crews and the Lazy Eye guy, and they're instantly hitting on her, chat, making lewd references to her body, and they're like, oh, don't worry, girl. We're going to come right at you. It's just like, yep, okay, got it, thank you. And then eventually we cut back to Norbit and Rasputia. And, Rasputia's like, Norbit, I'm thirsty. Go get me another wine cooler. And she's like, Rasputia, wine cooler? You just can't be drinking wine. She goes, why the hell not? And he goes, because you're with child. She's like, with child? It's like, no, that was just gas. And then she proceeds to go, she just farts, chat. It's like, there's your child. It's like, okay, that made me laugh a little bit. That fart joke got me. There's your child. And he's like, and he walks away, chat. It's like, you could have said, I'm done with you. But no, he says, I'm still with her. Make a decision, Norbit. And he walks off, and she's like, ooh, we got another one. Oh, there's twins right there. And then we get another fat Psych Gag, chat, where one of the children grab Rasputia's hat, and she chases after these kids throughout the fair, and eventually end up in a bouncy house where she thrusts herself inside, and then we just see her kind of like bouncing around, and every time that she falls down, one of the kids are flung from the bouncy house, chat. Also, there, as I said before, chat, Eddie Griffin and Cat Williams are in this movie. They play two retired pimps, and there's a very weird joke in here where one of the kids that Rasputia accidentally flings from the bouncy house is like a little girl, and it's like 12-year-old little girl, chat, right? If the oldest it could have been 12, right? And she falls right near Cat Williams and Eddie Griffin, chat, like in a bay of hail, and Eddie Griffin's just like, it is raining white women. Hallelujah. And it's just like, no, I don't like that. And so, it's not, this is a bad joke. It's a bad joke. And eventually she tires herself out. She kills all the kids. She gets her hat back. Eventually, Kate's like, Norbit, it'd be great, if you come to the water park with us the next day, right? The help with the kids and stuff. Cuba Gooding Jr., he seems to be struggling a little bit with the kids right now. Could really use your help going to the water park. And he's like, great, I'll definitely be there. Absolutely. Thank you. Great little white woman. That's what he said. Great little 12-year-old white girls. It's like, JVS, Tobans, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. You're my Huckleberry. Hope you're doing very well. Now, everybody, she thrusts herself inside and bounces around. I mean, she does. She does. In a non-sexual way. It's the one time where it's in a non-sexual way. Oh. This is what's the only mildly amusing scene for me than the bouncy house. Anyway. And so eventually, where the fuck are we? Oh, yeah, and then we cut to Cuba Gooding Jr., and he's packing up his bag. She had put him in his car. It's like, what's going on here? And then the Terry Crews, Coltrane, and the Lazy Eye guy, they're like, are you Cuba Gooding Jr.? And he goes, yes, I am. Are you the fiance of Kate? Not anymore, man. I am not going to go ahead and take care of all these goddamn orphans, all right? I have multiple kids of my own, all right? I don't need more of them, so I'm gone. And he's showing all the shit. He's like, whoa. Wait a minute. We got a deal for you, okay? And he's like, what's up? We want to buy Mr. Juan's Chinese food shop, because there's another scene in the movie earlier, chat, where they tried to accost Mr. Juan and saying, listen, if you sell us the restaurant, we'll be okay. Here's our offer. And fucking Mr. Juan looks at it, he's like, this is your offer. Here's my counter offer. He takes a piece of paper, chat, and just rubs it down his ass crack. He gets in there and goes, ugh, and he throws it, the shit-stained piece of paper, and he goes, I'm gonna kill you! And he starts doing kung fu, and he almost impales one of the brothers. He almost impales Coltrane. They run off. And so I was like, well, we can't get Mr. Juan to settle, but maybe we can manipulate our way into owning the restaurant. And that's why they're going to Cuba Gooding Jr. They're saying, listen, if you're getting married to Kate, she's buying the restaurant, so it will also be yours, especially if it's signed in your name, right? And he goes, I suppose. And like, that place has a liquor license, man. He goes, good for you. What of it? And he's like, listen, man, I want nothing to do with this. He's like, oh, dude, that's his fucking trick. He goes, oh, what? A strip joint with big old biddies? He goes, yes, sir. He's like, well, where do I fucking sign? You got to marry Kate first, though. He's like, well, I love strip clubs, so I will marry Kate in order to obtain the license and the ownership of the Chinese food restaurant / orphanage / sweatshop and convert it into a titty bar. That's the plot, chat. We've gotten to the plot of the movie. This is what it is now about. It's all about ownership of the orphanage. We're about 45 minutes in, I'd say, maybe 50 minutes in, all right? But we got into the plot, finally. And so Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, all right, shit, forget my plans. I'm gonna marry Kate as soon as possible so I can obtain ownership and we can go own it together and open a titty bar. That's it. Jesus. So we're out the next day, and Norbit is going to leave to the water park. And he overheard. They're in the fucking fair. Rasputia throws a speaker on top of his head, and it nearly kills him. And he's hospitalized, and he's watching a commercial, and it's about background checks. So if you send in $29.99, we'll do a random background check on anyone, and we'll just give you this information. And it's like, that seems really nefarious, but okay. And so fucking Kate goes to check on him, chat, and she's thrusting her bazungas at him, and his heart rate's all pitter-pattering. Then she gets out of the hospital, and he submits the fucking, I don't know, form to the background company about Cuba Gooding Jr. to find out more information about him because he doesn't trust him. There's something about Cuba Gooding Jr. that just doesn't sit well with Norbit. And as we all know, Chad, he's scum. He's absolute scum. There's a lot going on. So money. Thank you. Welcome to stream, good sir. I'm going to look for a bit. No problem, man. No problem. I understand. I'm going to need a drink. Give me a second, chat. Oh, it's good whiskey. So he puts the letter in and he sends it off, and we're going to learn more about Cuba Gooding Jr. at one point in the film. And so now he's going to go to the water park, chat, but he's trying to sneak out. The thing is, like, Rasputia doesn't want him hanging out with Kate at all. And she catches him, and he goes, oh, I'm just going to the water park, Rasputia, with Kate and with the kids. She goes, we're going to go see Kate. I'm coming with you. I would like to get some sun and some water. And so then, chat, we get more gags. Rasputia joins him, and she can't get through the fucking turnstile because she's too fucking fat. There's another joke about, ma'am, are you wearing, like, the guy who's, like, the ticket guy, like, leading into the park says, ma'am, are you wearing panties? She's like, of course I'm wearing panties. And she lifts up her fat mass, chat, to display her panties. It's like, I didn't even see that. And she drops her fat mass, and it covers everything, chat. And she waddles in, and she gets in there. And there's like a brief period between of Kate and Rasputia bonding. And pretty much it's just Rasputia making up lies about Norbit. It's like, oh, he does not like skinny women. He's all about the thickness, okay? Fuck 3 goddamn C's, all right? There is thick women. To Norbit, there is thick women and thicker women, all right? That's how it is. And Kate's just like, okay, sure. And I'm like, you gotta eat something, girl. You're all emaciated. You look like you escaped from a concentration camp. It's just like, oh my god, just these jokes do not age well. They didn't age well back in 2007, chat. And she's like, all right, I'm gonna get myself a goddamn wine cooler. And she waddles off, chat. Eventually, Norbit goes to Kate, and Kate's like, let's have some fun, Norbit, because she knows Rasputia's full of shit, chat. She's full of a lot of other stuff too. And so let's go down the Devil's Slide, and it's the biggest water slide in the theme park, chat. And Norbit goes, yeah, and Kate goes down the slide, chat. It's really cool. The kids are going, yay, Kate, she's so awesome. And Rasputia sees this, is like, no. She thinks Little Miss, Stick is so goddamn cool. Wait until Rasputia goes down that slide. And so she waddles up that fucking slide, chat. And like the guy, the girl that's working there is like, ma'am, we have a 300-pound weight limit. And Rasputia goes, I'm 165 pounds, okay? Move aside, small fry. And she sits her fat ass, like getting stuck in the slide, chat, where the goddamn staff have to push her mass down it. And she just slides down that thing like a fucking rocket. Where she's just saying, I'm flying, Norbit, I'm flying. And she's going so fucking fast, chat. that she, takes off like a fucking bullet, doesn't like stop at the end. No, she goes through a goddamn wooden wall, and we see another pool, chat, where this small child is just having a good time, just in the kiddie pool, and this massive shadow appears above them, and this little girl just looks up and goes, ah! And the ass chat, the wide ass of Rasputia falls upon this small child, chat, and crushes her. And then you get fucking Rasputia's famous phrase, "How you doing?" That's what happens. The kid's okay though. She managed to get out of the way, chat, thankfully. So that happens. What's the next scene that we're at? All right. We're getting towards the end of the movie at this point. So now, like, Cuba Gooding Jr. and the Lattimores, they have to manipulate Norbit into getting Kate to sign the deed or whatever. And what will happen is it'll act like what happened. Fucking doesn't make any sense. What will happen is the plot is ridiculous, chat. Basically, it's like, Norbit, take these files to Mrs. Kate or whatever, have her sign them, and then it'll all be done, okay? Because she got them to do the extra construction on the orphanage. But what it is in reality, chat, is she'll sign over the deed to the Lattimores. That's what all this is about. It's like, oh, okay, shit, whatever. And so there are various scenes of Norbit and Kate bonding where he's lying to Rasputia so he can go and spend time with Kate so she can help him learn to ride a bike. Like, that's a big fucking thing. Eventually, Kate, she's like, my husband, my fiance's busy with some bullshit. I could really use your help with the reception, Norbit. Can you come in his place and we can do like the vows? And he's like, sure, of course. And so they go to the church chat and they're doing the vows and everything. But Rasputia, she gets word of this via the Coltrane chat, and she just tortures the poor Coltrane. It's like, oh, this poor fucking schlub. And she's like, all she's doing, she's just like pouring salt on a pizza, just going, and Coltrane, he just panics. And he's with fucking Norbit's with Kate. And she goes, ah! And then she runs out of the fucking house, chat, gets into her car, and goes immediately to the church. And as she's driving by, chat, she sees Norbit and Kate practicing the vows. But what happens at the end of the vows, chat? Norbit kisses Kate without her permission, and she accepts that kiss. So they start smooching, and Rasputia just goes, and she just fucking passes out, chat. She passes out on the goddamn wheel, and she hits another car, chat. And her seat, which was all the way back, forced her forward, chat, so she's being smothered by her own big biddies, chat. Her biddies are smothering Rasputia, and she's choking to death. But thank God they had the jaws of life, and so they get her out of there, chat. But she's renewed. She has the fucking adrenaline pumping in her heart, chat. And she grabs a goddamn crowbar, and she runs into the church looking for Norbit, going to kill him. And we get a brief gag where she keeps saying goddamn. She's doing the sign of the cross, like, got me swearing in this goddamn church. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. And she leaves eventually. But Kate doesn't know how to feel about Norbit's kiss. Norbit doesn't have to feel about this. And it's just fucking weird for both of them. Very weird. And eventually they meet up later. Like, also, Norbit gets her to sign all the papers after the fucking kiss. She's like, I'm sorry, I forgot to give you this. Can you sign these? She goes, of course. And she signs them. And she's saying that, listen, that kiss, like, I'm glad you did it. You know, I just feel confused. I gotta talk to Cuba Gooding Jr. about this. And he goes, it's okay, it's totally fine. I gotta talk to Rasputia. And so Norbit, he's heading home, and he sees the Lattimore brothers, see fucking Coltrane and Terry Crews and the lazy eye guy walking out, and he goes, oh, Norbit, you fucked up, brother. He goes, what are you talking about? And so Norbit goes inside the house chat, where we just see Rasputia just sitting there. And Norbit's just like, hello, Rasputia. And she's like, hello, Norbit. And we cut to the outside chat where Norbit is being thrown through a fucking window and through the fence himself. And is like, you will never see that Kate again, Norbit. He's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm going to show you. She goes back inside the house, and she has made this potato figure, chat. And he's like, you see what this is, Norbit? And he goes, looks like a Potato Head? She goes, yes, but this is Miss Kate. And so it has like hair and shit and googly eyes. I got a little googly eye potato, Chad, like Mrs. Potato Head. And she goes, and you know what this is, Norbit? He goes, that looks like the sulfuric acid we use at the quarry. She goes, yes, it is. And she proceeds to dump all this sulfuric acid in the potato. She's like, now this is what will happen to Kate if you ever fucking see her again. I will melt her goddamn face. And he goes, ah. And he's like, don't go see her, Norbit. Eventually, chat, we cut back to Kate, and she's about to tell Cuba Gooding Jr. that she wants to be with Norbit and not with him. She's just trying to let him down easy. But Cuba Jr. he arrives. He says, Kate, I just got a call from the Lattimores. Like, what happened? Why'd you sign that stuff? She goes, what are you talking about? I signed some paperwork for Norbit, signing over the deed and okaying the construction for the site. Like, no. What you did is that you signed over the deed to them of the orphanage. They're going to get it now. And apparently they're going to turn into some kind of titty bar or something. Oh, it's so crass, so disgusting. She goes, what? And so the next day, chat, Norbit's still a goddamn simp. Rasputia forcing him to clean everything in the house, and she forces him to go down in the basement. And we get these random lines. He's going, you bitch, but he can't say it, chat, because, he has no fucking balls. And so eventually he goes down to the basement, chat, cleans shit up, and Kate arrives. She's like, Norbit. And, Norbit's like, Kate, I'm down here. But no, chat, because we hear fucking Rasputia, her fucking foot stomps. And he goes, oh, shit, she'll melt her fucking face if she finds me talking to her. She's like, and Kate's talking to Norbit, saying, Norbit, those papers you had me sign, you said they were for the construction project. And apparently, what that really was for the deed to the orphanage that's signed over the Lattimores. Did you know about this? And, Norbit's just like, get out of here, Kate. I don't want to see you again. I used you. I just used you. You're just nothing but a floozy. It's part of my schemes. Rasputia and the Lattimores, they're my family. And Rasputia's like peeking behind the curtain. She goes, oh, hell yeah, I'm all about this. And eventually, like, Kate, she's like, tears, like, Norbit, how could you do this to me? Why? And Rasputia, she walks out. She goes, you heard him, all right, twig thing. Get your scrawny ass out of here. He's all about this. And it's like, no, thank you. And she's like, Norbit, I never want to see you again. And she drives back home, Chad. And Norbit, he's just so fucking sad. He's just like, oh, my God. Eventually, he goes upstairs. He checks the mail. And the fucking letter arrived about Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh, by the way, Kate and Cuba Gooding Jr. are going to get married the next day or some shit. So that's going to happen. Or maybe it's like today. I forget what it is. But they're getting fucking married. So Norbit, he has the fucking letter, and he's about to go see Kate. But Rasputia goes, absolutely fucking not. You're not messing this fucking plan up, Norbit. And so the Lattimores and Rasputia, they lock Norbit in the basement, and they keep Coltrane down there to guard him. And they all go out to the wedding of Cuba Gooding Jr. and Kate, chat. But Kate, she doesn't know how to feel. She feels like really awkward. Her best man, for whatever reason, is Mr. Juan. Mr. Juan's like, Kate, you are the best of the black children that I sold at the orphanage. You are my favorite. You're much better than ugly Norbit. You are best black child, okay? Are you sure you want to marry Cuba Gooding Jr.? And she goes, I do, Mr. Juan. He goes, all right, it's your decision. Movie's words, not mine, chat. Eventually, Norbert's just like, I gotta get to the fucking wedding. And Coltrane, for whatever reason, is watching one of the erotic videos of Rasputia and Marlon Wayne's chat and getting off on it. And it's like, I did not need to see that. Thank you. And so Norbit, he somehow escapes, chat, and he rides a fucking bike because Kate taught him how to ride a bicycle with all those scenes, chat, in the bike montage. And so he goes to the church, chat. Also, there's a scene of Cat Williams and Eddie Griffin using their pimp skills to stop the wedding from happening, chat. They're being used as a distraction use. I guess you just have pimp abilities. It's like a fucking superpower. So they stop the wedding. And right before the kiss is about to happen, chat, Norbit comes in there and is like, I object. And Gujo's like, come on, man. What are you doing here, all right? You've done enough already. He's like, Kate, I had no idea about those papers, all right? It was the Lattimores. They manipulated me. I really did think that this was the construction project that they were going to work on or whatever. And I have proof about Cuba Gooding Jr., okay? He's been lying to you this entire time. He is in league with them. And I have the proof right here. And the thing is, chat, like all the proof that has like the information about Cuba Gooding Jr.'s past, it's all fucked up. Because at one point, Rasputia tried to kill him and like threw him into a goddamn pond. Happens during the bike ride, so it doesn't matter. And the thing is, though, And even though, like, Kate's just like, Norbit, I know you say you have this evidence, but it's just not there. I'm going to marry Cuba Gooding Jr. And right before the 11th hour, chat, right before the end, all these random women of all these babies and young children rock to the door. And Norbit goes, but in case the evidence was destroyed, I called all of Cuba Gooding Jr.'s baby mamas. And like 4 baby mamas walk in, chat, with like at least 3, at the very least 3 kids each. And they're like, Cuba Gooding Jr., that guy told me this was his name. He told me this was his name. And he goes, I'm out. And he fucking runs away. That's it. Cuba Gooding Jr. is out of the movie. He just runs the fuck away. At this point, Kate's like, what the hell's going on? What's happening? She's like, it was all a lie. It was all a lie. But then, chat, there's still one more threat. The Lattimores. They still have control of the town, and they arrive at the church, and they start attacking Norbit. Norbit, he is the soul of the warrior, as Mr. Juan said, and he starts, for whatever reason, fighting off the Coltrane chat, Terry Crews, and the Lazy Eye guy. But there's still one more left. Rasputia, the ultimate fucking boss, chat. And at this point, she's just about to beat the shit out of goddamn Norbit, but the townspeople arrive at Norbit's side, chat. You got Mr. Boppity Boopy, the Italian restaurant. You got the flower lady, chat. You got the guy from the shoe shop. They're all there to defend Norbit, all right? And they all start fighting the Lattimore brothers. But Rasputia, she's just too powerful, chat. She fucking bludgeons Mr. Boppity Boopy to death. She clubs the shoe man to death, Joe, with like a mannequin leg. And the flower lady, oh, Jesus Christ, don't get me started, chat. She takes a goddamn shovel and hits her so goddamn hard, throws her through her own window, chat. She's blasted through her own shop window. And it's like, who's going to stop Rasputia? And as she has raised the shovel above her head, is about to bring it down onto Eddie Murphy, onto Norbit, chat, Mr. Juan is like, oh, and he has a fucking whale spear, chat, and he throws it, and it goes right into the asshole of Rasputia. It goes, oh, right in the blowhole, chat. See, fucking symbolism, right? It rhymes. Remember, it's a callback. And Rasputia starts running around like an anime character, like really fast and shit, and she runs out of town, and the townspeople come upon the Lattimore brothers and rip them apart, chat. Everyone celebrates, yay! And Norbit and Kate, they get married again under the old oak tree, and they kiss, and they have babies, and they're raising the orphanage kids and stuff. But, oh, there's a stinger, chat. There's a stinger. Because Norbit says, well, apparently I've heard the Lattimores, they did manage to open their titty bar in Mexico. And we cut, chat, to Nippleopolis in Mexico, where Terry Crews, you can tell he's in Mexico, chat, because he has a sombrero on, and he's like, don't worry, guys, our best dancer's just about to come out, chat. And so who comes waddling out, chat? Rasputia, decked out in some BDSM gear, chat, and she's just thrusting, waddling, I mean, doing everything that she can to showcase what she's got. And then she waddles back, chat, and she fucking goddamn sits down like this, pulls a fucking lever, and is just lathered in water, chat, all around. Every crease, every fold goes upon Rasputia. And that, my friends, is Norbit. That is Norbit, chat. It is a terrible movie. I don't want to watch this ever again in my life, chat. If I were to die on my deathbed, it's like, hey, you know what? I wasn't able to accomplish much in my life, but at least I didn't see Norbit for a third time. I would die happy, chat. I would die fulfilled. This movie gave me a few laughs, random laughter, chat, like 2 or 3 times, but based on the humor that's showcased throughout this film and just the overall offensiveness of some of the jokes, like not even jokes, chat. I'm just like, this is just terrible writing. This film, it's the very definition, according to the double toasted rating scale, chat, of a fuck you. It was great. Was it gravy? that would have been fun. If it was actually gravy, that would have made sense. But this is the very definition of a fuck you, chat. Whoo! There you go.